You are listening to Single Smart Female
This is Jen,
and Jen,
letting it all hang out for your love life.
examining your dating experiences and answering your hot topic dating questions.
Just you and us. Jen squared. No topic is off limits and no filters involved.
We are here to help you do dating on your terms.
If you have a question you would like us to answer or would like to immediately upgrade your love life with our collection of classes and exclusive merchandise, meet us over now at singlesmartfemale.com. Howdy to all my single smart females out there. This is Jen, your favorite romantic fairy godmama.
This is Jen, your other favorite romantic fairy godmother.
There's only one. There's only one, Jen.
Did you like how I said that with my shaky head back and forth?
Except nobody could see it but me.
True, but I told them about it.
Well, because they heard you say it. Does that mean it really exists?
Well, don't get into the whole tree falling in the woods business. I'm just kidding.
But did it actually fall?
Silly bird.
Okay, so according to you, we have a single smart female listener question today. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Would you like to hear it?
Possibly.
Okay.
Actually, it's a very good question. It's one of my tougher questions.
Agreed.
Indeed. So let's do this.
Okay. This comes from Miss When Your Best Friend Is So Amazing You Can't Fall in Love. Hello, Jen and Jen. I have just started listening to your podcast. Thank you, love. All the way from Australia and absolutely love it.
Thank you, love. I know that was bad.
We should have her give us pointers. I feel like it's given me some great insight as to what I need to do this year with my dating life as a single smart female. I thought I would see what your take is on when you have a male friend in your life that is so incredible, you find yourself comparing all the guys you meet in a dating aspect to him and find out that no one ever comes close. My background is that I married my first boyfriend and was together from the age of 18 to 29. Within a few years of us being together, he became very toxic. He suffered from unmanaged bipolar, split personality disorder, and depression. When I finally left him, I found out that he was having an affair and hiding $15,000 from me. The reason it took so long for me to leave him is because he was a very manipulative and often threatened to kill himself.
Okay, Jen, I want to stop right here.
Yeah.
Normally we don't do this, but I want to stop right here because there's something very important I want to address that I know this is just a small piece to the entire submission, but this is really important, ladies, that I need you all to hear. This is hard. This is really tough love, and I know this is not the easiest thing to do, but in the future, if a man ever threatens suicide because you aren't going to speak to him again or leave him or whatnot, the first thing you need to do is call the authorities and let them know that this person is threatening suicide. This is extraordinarily, I know she knows this, but extraordinarily emotionally manipulative. And as hardcore as it sounds, you are not doing him any favors by staying with him, and you are doing him much more for his mental health if you contact the authorities. Plus, he learns right away that he has no power to emotionally manipulate you. Again, I understand that this is very hardcore, but it's absolutely necessary. And what we do teach you here is to have fantastic boundaries. This is part of it. If you need help with other boundaries in dating, now this is a very specific one and it's not something I address here, but I want to point it out. If you need help with boundaries, if boundaries is your big thing, go to datingboundaries.com and I'll send you my free class on boundaries. But again, small relative to the entire submission, just one piece of this story, very important. Ladies, do not allow men to emotionally manipulate you like this anymore. Yes, there is a possibility that something could happen. It happens far less than it's actually threatened, but if it was to happen, it still is not your fault. You are doing men in general more of a favor if you contact the proper authorities and then you send a clear signal to him that you are not available to be emotionally manipulated any longer.
Yeah, that's really great advice, Jen. Okay, so back to her question. It took a lot for me to finally leave. I got a restraining order against him, and as you can imagine, that part of my life was very difficult. Afterwards, I went back out into the dating world and got a lot out of my system, sleeping with a few guys, meeting lots of people that weren't right for me, but also meeting some really nice guys that became my friends. Eventually, I met Mr. A. Mr. A was the first guy I had deep feelings for, and also the first guy that treated me like I was his world. After about 6 weeks, we got to a stage where we were discussing if we should be exclusive, but the topic of children came up, and he admitted he never ever wants kids. This was something I didn't want to rule out, so it really took me by surprise. I knew I couldn't commit to a relationship with him, but I also knew I would be devastated if I lost him. However, only 2 days after we discussed this, he found out that he had terminal cancer and was given about 12 months to live. Obviously, this was another shock. He was 36 at the time and I was only 31. So in the end, we decided to just be friends because he had to concentrate on his health. So that's what we did. I stood by him, visited at the hospital, helped him wherever I could when he was sick doing chemo, and eventually he got to a point where he was actually starting to beat it. Fast forward 2 years, in parentheses, yay, she says. He is doing much better and we are the best of friends.
I'm saying yay too. That's awesome.
Me too. We spend our weekends together, Christmases, holidays, and call each other almost every day. I should also point out, because my friends are always asking me, we are not intimate, truly are just friends, but I still care for him very much, and I know he still cares for me. The past year, we have got to a point where we can discuss the topic of me dating, and he has said that he wants to see me happy and find a guy who I can start a family with. So here lies the problem. I attempt dating on and off. I just find that I'm consistently comparing everyone I meet to him. Additionally, I tend to bail early on getting to know someone, which I know now is not the right thing listening to your podcast. I am going to try my best to give guys more of a chance, but I am worried that I'll never fall for anyone again. I am also scared if I meet someone, they will be jealous of our friendship and won't want me being friends with him anymore. We have been through so much together, and I can't even bear the thought of someone coming between that. Any advice?
Yes, I do. I have advice. How about
Ooh.
you, Jen?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to start or you want me to?
No, not really. I want you to.
Okay. All right. Miss. When your best friend is so amazing, you can't fall in love yet. I've got a lot of pieces. First off, I do think that this is a really, really interesting question. And I understand why you find this so challenging. I do want to tell you there's several things I'm proud of you for. I'm definitely proud of you for leaving that first marriage. I know that took a lot, and that is a very big testament to what an incredible, strong woman you are. Second piece is that I am also proud of you for deciding that it wasn't a good idea to become exclusive with him when he was so against something that you wanted. And that's very important to you. Ladies, your desire to have children, to travel the world, to take on a certain career, those things that are really important to you, you should not give up for the only opportunity you believe you might get at love. Now, I want to talk a little something about what's actually going on here. So this is actually a very classic scenario. It doesn't look like a classic scenario, but of a woman who dates and loves a gay man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. No, Mr. A is not gay, obviously. And right. I would even probably venture to say that he's in love with you.
I would too.
I would too. Wait, I did say that first.
I would 3.
I'm a hot mess.
No, you're not.
How many Jens are here?
There's 7 Jens.
Okay. We'll keep it interesting. But Miss, when your best friend is so amazing you can't fall in love, this is really important to recognize. When we allow ourselves to hyperfocus and compare everybody to a person that isn't reciprocating the way that we want to, I do want to say I didn't tell you that he isn't probably in love with you because I want you to keep your attention on him. I want to say that because of some of the behavior that he's exhibiting. Now, you're unlikely to get him to come out of that by still focusing all of your attention on him, okay? Because he probably hasn't completely processed that in his head. And he's also probably pretty scared about a relapse of what he has going on. So he's afraid to step up for you in that way. What that means, we're not going to worry about, again, that's probably what's going on with him, but we're not going to worry about that piece. as an adored woman, when you walk in our world, what you need to focus on is what this means for you. So he was an amazing introduction to all the possibilities that you can feel for a man. If a man is not there with you yet, that means something else is going on that you need to address, which means your dating life specifically in this case. That means either at some point he is going to step up, but he's unlikely to do it while you're hyper-focused on him. Remember, hyper-focus on somebody who hasn't decided they're there yet and hasn't offered that up to you. For a man, it's really challenging. So you need to turn your attention to developing your mantourage. And you have to, and this will be more challenging because you're going to have to recognize how you dismiss guys because they don't check all the boxes that he does right now. So we all have these boxes we want guys to check from the get-go. And a lot of them end up checking, a majority of them, if we give them the opportunity to step up for us and win with us. But when we dismiss them right from the beginning, they don't get that opportunity. So there is likely somebody out there that the universe is asking you to give an opportunity to, possibly several men, and something that you need to explore within yourself that's not happening because you have dedicated so much attention to him. Now, I think Jen needs to talk about this as well, but there's some really important points I want to finish up on it. The first one being how much time you're spending with him. I don't want you to stop spending time with him, but you do need to dedicate some time to your dating life, and that includes your weekends. Your weekends can't be exclusively towards him when you're giving your love life a real shot. You are saying to the universe when you only spend your time with him, this is all I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to explore any of the pieces. Because your actions speak louder than anything you might mentally say or actually verbally say. So really, really important. It's time to open up some space in your dating life to spend time with other men. Did you have something to say, Jen?
I do actually have something along those lines. I moved to a new city and I went through some things that were pretty emotional when I first moved there. Mm-hmm. And so I had a friend, a male friend, who comforted me during that time, who reassured me, who listened to me, and who was there for me. And we became very close, and so close, in fact, people would ask if we were in a relationship or, were remarried if they didn't know us very well. And I felt very loyal to him. I didn't want to hurt him at all. Some of my friends believed that he had feelings for me. It's a little bit different situation because I didn't have romantic feelings towards him, but I felt a lot of loyalty towards him. Mm-hmm. And at some point, I realized that I had to honor myself and that I couldn't spend all weekend, every weekend with him if I was going to really find what I honestly wanted in love. And so I had to start shifting from there. And I shifted and spent a little bit of time or said, I can't do Saturday night, us do something because I'm going to have a date and I started online dating and spending more time, devoting more time to my romantic life. And it was hard. It was not easy because I didn't want to hurt him. And I'm sure with when your best friend is so amazing, you can't fall in love or find love. You don't want to turn away from him because you're crazy about him. Mm-hmm. But it's possible that you can find someone who's just as amazing as him. And I'm sure that you feel very safe with him, especially considering your background. But you can find someone who's just as amazing as him, but wants the same things or even more amazing than him. Mm-hmm. So
I know that's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe. It really is, but it is possible. And if you need to make just little shifts to devote and honor yourself and what you want in life, so it starts showing up for you.
Here's the other piece of this that she talks about that I want to take away the fear from, because if she can take away the fear from this and actually step into, I think she recognizes that she's only focused on him right now, but takes the fear off of this. You don't have to give him up just because you meet an incredible man.
Right.
You don't have to give up that friendship. I know there's some chemistry between the two of you that will always be there, and it's mainly based in friendship. And again, I know you two have strong feelings for each other, but it's just not happening for whatever reason. And there's a reason. Regardless of if you know the reason, it's there. And I think you should just go ahead and honor it. Honor the fact that this is what it is. Sometimes when you just say yes to what it is, it clears out a whole bunch of space. But you can invite another man into your life. And as long as you're not spending all of your time with this man, you make space for this other man to be in your life as well, and then introduce them, let them be friends too. There is no reason why you have to eliminate him from your life.
Yes, Jen. Sometimes we worry about problems before they ever come up.
Exactly.
Yeah. And we don't even need to.
That's even a bit bigger point is that it's so easy to negotiate things like that. And friendships, especially from the beginning with a great guy who's really interested in you, wants to get to know you, because guys at the beginning, that's a really key point time for them. And just set it up from the beginning that, this is my friend, this is part of my life. I want to include you so that you understand this and I'm not hiding anything from you, and move forward with it. Will say that if you're going to spend the majority of your time with him, it will be a little bit more challenging, because then you're saying that relationship is more important than anything that you're actually interested in developing. But if you're willing to take a step back, not stop seeing him, because I don't think you should. I think you should keep this friendship. I think it's a fantastic friendship. Then you make space for something bigger, and you haven't invented something in your head that may not be a problem whatsoever. If the guy does have a problem with it, that's a good sign he's not a guy for you.
Agreed.
And that's okay.
Agreed.
There's absolutely 100% nothing wrong with eliminating somebody because they have a problem with something like that. Just be fair, though, in the conjecture of all of this, meaning, if you're spending 90% of your time with Mr. A and, 5% of the time with this other guy, and then the other 5% doing your other stuff, that can illustrates that where your priorities are.
And you can transition, though. It doesn't have to be, 90% with Mr. A. Maybe it could be, 90% with Mr. A to start, but as you start to get to know Mr. Amazing, the new guy, and you can...
Mr. A+. Mr. A++.
Ooh, I like that. But, it can be a slow transition where you start going 80% with Mr. A and 20% with Mr. A++.
And plus, at the beginning, you don't have to do, once you get to the relationship phase, in Mantourage dating, you're going to have to make some space for dating a couple of different guys. But once you get to the relationship phase, if you're still doing exclusively 90% and 5% or whatnot, that might be very challenging, because even as a woman, if my husband prioritized female friendship, or even another friendship for that matter, that vast of a difference, it's going to be really, really challenging. So there are always ways to do that. And again, I don't want you to hyper focus on this relationship because it's not happening for whatever reason. But I do want you to know this guy has feelings for you. Mr. A definitely has feelings for you. Guys don't spend that amount of time with a woman that they don't have deep feelings for. On the same page when I say that. If you go trying to figure out a way to get that out of him instead of actually focusing on your love life, you'll screw things up even more. It'll skew the energy even more, because you're trying to press something out that he's not ready to step up into. And as a woman, I know we go after what we want, but pressing a man into something instead of letting him fully step into something not only is a bad idea for him, it's a bad idea for you, because then you always wonder whether or not he really chose you.
I couldn't agree more, Jen. I think that's a brilliant point.
And you deserve to feel chosen. You will be chosen. You will find somebody who makes you feel amazing. Again, you're going to find Mr. A++. And while you're having fun with your mantourage, if Mr. A decides to step up, well, you're in the perfect place for that to happen.
Ooh la la.
Okay, lover girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
When you focus all of your attention on Mr. A, you are likely to miss Mr. A++.
Today's show is brought to you by thelovesickcure.com. Does your love life suck because you can't move on from the idea of him? Does every man you meet pale in comparison to the way he made you feel? It's okay, lady love. We 100% understand and have been there before. Whether you'd like the opportunity to get him back or to completely move on, we know this only happens when you cure your heartbreak and love sickness. Let us help you do that today at thelovesickcure.com. Hey, lover girl, this is Jen again. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you would like to play around and learn more about Mantourage dating, come see me at singlesmartfemale.com. Talk to you next time.